and you just have that great sound behind your head. Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today I'm driving my 2005 Acura NSX. This is my first time driving the car this spring since I put it in storage for the winter, so I figured I would take you on my first drive of the year. Now these are Targa Top cars. The Targa Top, you can open the trunk right here. This is where the engine is, mid-engine. You take the Targa Top off. It's a little too cold and windy for that today. There's a little clip here. You clip it. The top snaps right in here. This is right over the engine, so it doesn't get the heat from the engine, and it's a secure place to store it, and it doesn't take up any trunk space. It's actually got a pretty deep trunk. I'll show you the trunk. I don't even know what's in my trunk, so here you find out. Let's play the game, what's in Glenn's trunk. All right, not much. And there's a CD changer that I never use. I keep an air pump in here, and that's about it. There is the spare tire is actually in front of the car. Let's see, make sure that was closed. Just make sure I closed it properly. And the front of the car actually has the spare tire and the battery. Show you that. There's the release right there. This car is going to be due for inspection in June. I think you could do classic. It's not 25 years old, being an 05. You just put the prop rod up here, and I put a new battery before putting away for the winter, and this is your space saver spare tire. So no front trunk like a Boxster or a Cayman would have. What I like best about the car, well, there's a lot of things I like. Mid-engine, stick shift, though an automatic is available. All right, we have 41,908 miles. Last year, because real estate got busy again, thank God, and I had a lot of cars, and I film a lot of cars, only put about 500 miles on this car. One of my favorite things about it is that tachometer. It's big, huge, two big dials. What's important, speedometer, tachometer, amazing. The radio sounds like crap. This is back in the day when you had cassettes. They built these cars from model year 91 to 2005. In North America, it is the Acura NSX. Acura only exists in North America. So in Japan, anywhere in Europe, it's the Honda NSX. So you see a lot of videos, they're like, oh, Honda NSX or Acura. No, it's just called different places. So you got a real commanding view here. What they did is they made this like a F-16. That's what they kind of modeled this cockpit out of. So the visibility is fantastic. There's really no blind spots. Even the C-pillars you can see pretty well. It's very comfortable because it's an exotic luxury car. So when you drive some old cars, they're very rough. They have very stiff suspensions, not here. And it's not electronic. So one thing that you might not know is it has electric steering. Now, I've done a million videos on this car. You can search the channel. I've reviewed 1,000 different cars. I have 1,000 different cars on my YouTube channel. But one thing I always forget is how this is electric steering. I've probably said in videos, and I've probably called it hydraulic because it feels like hydraulic, but it is electric. Tire sizes on the 2005s are 17. My tires are old. They're like 6 years old. I put them on when I bought the car 6 years ago. So I guess technically this will be I'll have to do a 6-year review on it. And this is just the first drive, so we'll do that for now. And then around Memorial Day will be 6 years. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe, and I'll do a full review on it. Just had the timing belt done. All the fluids changed. New battery before it went in last winter. It's going to be due for inspection in June, so I'm going to try to drive it a lot the next couple months. I don't think I'll have any problem passing the inspection. It's not an E46 M3. Ask me how I know. But very comfortable car. So it's got a long wheelbase, so it's stable to high speeds. On the highway, it loves being at 80 miles an hour. But it's not an autocross car because of that long wheelbase. So you want an autocross, you want a Miata S2000, something that really darty, turns around. This is very stable. So this is better on sweepers, like you're out in the country on long sweepers, and of course on the highway. We do an annual NSX drive in Bucks County every year, and those roads are just perfect for this car. All right, so everything's warmed up. I think we could do some accelerations. I'm trying to think, where should we go? Let's go, we'll make a left here. This is kind of a blind turn. And people are such terrible drivers. They always kind of cross the double yellow. So you're very low to the ground here. That's something to keep in mind. And you just have that great sound behind your head. Now, it's even quieter than this. My car, the only mod I have is an exhaust, and it would be very quiet if I didn't have that. So I have a Pride exhaust. The drone is very, very minimal. Say on the highway, you can definitely use 6th gear, no problem. It's really a blast to drive. I mean, this is an S2000 on steroids. If you can't afford an NSX, I would say get an S2000, but an NSX is probably twice an S2000. Also, they made 8,948 of these cars in North America. About 6,800 were NA1s. There's only about 2,000 something NA2s, so that's why there's a big price difference. Gives you a 3.2 liter engine instead of 3 liters, assuming you had the stick. If you have an automatic, then you don't really have an NA2 because you still have the 3 liter motor. 270 horsepower for the NA1s, 290 horsepower for the NA2s. But the biggest thing on the NA2s and why they feel quicker and are quicker, they're about 3/4 of a second faster to 60. I'd say they're about anywhere from 5 seconds to 5.2 to 60, where the NA1s, I may have said AP1, I meant NA1, is about 5.7 to 60. And the biggest difference is the gearing, because this is a 6-speed instead of a 5. So the gears are shorter, and I stay in the VTEC. So the knock on the NA1 cars, which are model year 91 to 96, or any cars with that 3 liter engine, is you go from first to second, you fall out of the VTEC, and that slows your 0 to 60 time, because really the power is in the VTEC. Now, on an S2000, the VTEC is like an on and off switch. On this car, it's pretty linear. So you'll feel getting in that VTEC with the extra power, but it's not like a shove. Like the S2000 almost gives you like a turbo shove when it hits the VTEC. This doesn't do that. It's more linear. It's more of a luxury car. But it's just a phenomenal car, and I keep it in storage in the winter because I want it to be climate controlled, because my garage is attached but not heated. So I don't see it over the winter, and it makes me sad. I am due for tires. The downside on these cars, the original 91s had 15s in the front, 16s in the rear. By the time we got to the last year, 05, they were 17s all around. There's not too many tire choices. I think there's 4. There's like Derezas and a couple other competing brands to that, so I do have to pick some tires. I think I have the Yokohamas now. I think I have the AD08s on there, and they're a sticky tire, but they don't do well in the rain, so I try not to drive this car if it's going to rain because they don't hold water too well. And they're just old for age. I've had this car 6 years. I bought put in new tires as soon as I got the car. Including new tires. I've spent $4,000 on this car in 6 years, but I'm due for tires again on its 6th year anniversary, so technically I'll be spending $5,000 in 6 years. That's not bad for a modern classic, I'll call it, and sort of an exotic, but a very comfortable, reliable exotic. Everything in this car is almost perfect. People always ask me what's my favorite car, and I think I would say if I only had one car left, like I had to sell my cars for whatever reason, this would be the last car I sell, because I think this is my favorite to drive. It's nowhere fast as the McLaren was, or the R8, or even the 911, but I think it's the most fun car. And if you can't afford an NSX, don't fret it, get an S2000. And if you can't afford an NA2 NSX, definitely get an NA1. We all start with an NA1 first. NA2s are worth probably 15 or 20,000 more. I haven't checked the market recently. They're probably even higher than that. If money's no object, it's definitely well worth the upgrade. You'll feel the difference. But if you're just trying to get in an NSX, then get the NA1 car. You'll still have a blast. All right, so that's a drive in my NSX. I'll put some more miles on it, and then we'll do a 6-year review coming up. So remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.